Today we will talk about Prieto's 2011 book, Missionary Scientists, Jesuit Science in Spanish South America. Following last session's article on Jesuit science in overseas missions, Prieto's work introduces us to the Society of Jesus in South America. The first 6 Jesuits who arrived in the American Spanish Empire in 1568 settled in Lima, the capital of the Viceroyalty of Peru, from where they rapidly expanded throughout the American territory. 2 centuries later, the order was expelled from America by the 1767 Royal Edict of Expulsion signed by King Charles III. A few years later, in 1773, Pope Clement XIV signed an edict of suppression of the Society of Jesus that put an end to 200 years of Jesuit activity in America. 2,267 Jesuits, many of them Creole, were sent into exile in Europe. The Jesuits had a profound influence on colonial, pedagogical, scientific, evangelical, and political developments in America. During these 200 years, the Society of Jesus had become one of the most influential intellectual communities of the colonial period. Missionary Scientists explores the scientific activities of Jesuit missionaries in colonial Spanish America, revealing a little-known aspect of religion's role in the scholarship of the early Spanish Empire. Grounded in an examination of the writings and individuals, authors who were active in South American naturalist studies, this study outlines new paths of research often neglected by current scholarships. What becomes clear throughout Missionary Scientists is that early missionaries were adept in adapting the local practices in order to both understand the scientific foundations of these techniques and ingratiate themselves to the native communities. Spanning the disciplines of history, religion, and Latin American studies, Missionary Scientists reshapes our understanding of the importance of the Jesuit missions in establishing early scientific traditions in the New World. Pietro identifies a missionary ethos, a character or personality in the way the Jesuits established themselves in South America. This ethos is linked, according to Pietro, to the pressure put forward by the Viceroy Francisco de Toledo, who needed the Jesuits to take care of the doctrinas de indios, parochial posts in the newly founded towns into which the Viceroy was gathering the native population, which up to that point had been scattered throughout the numerous valleys traversing the Andes. The decision to accept the parochial duties of the doctrinas was a difficult one for the Peruvian Jesuits. It involved an overhauling of their goals and methods in Peru. This change in goals and methods brought on one of the main differences between South American Jesuits and their confrères in Europe. Whereas in Europe the Jesuit superiors quickly saw the advantages of diverting more resources and manpower to the schools and universities managed by the order, in America the Jesuits' focus was on evangelization of native communities. Although the South American Jesuits never forsook pedagogy, their difference in emphasis favored the emergence of a particular professional identity as missionaries. This fact yielded a different approach to the production and dissemination of knowledge about the physical world. Most of the texts on physics, mathematics, and natural history written by Jesuits in Europe were produced by the faculty members of the most important and prestigious Jesuit colleges and universities in Italy, Germany, and France. Jesuit superiors encouraged the writings of scientific treatises, not only in order to produce up-to-date and doctrinally sound textbooks for their students, but also to gain the patronage of Christian nobles and princes, and therefore to help the reputation of the order among the ruling classes in Europe. In America, in contrast, the emphasis on missionary activity defined different goals for the study of nature. The missionary strategy adopted by the Jesuits implied a prolonged contact between the priests and native communities. Both the practical and theological challenges presented by autochthonous cultures and the need to survive in what was often an aggressive and unfamiliar environment forced the missionaries to describe, explain, and utilize nature and the indigenous lore about it.